Well, Rome has gone from a lively start to falling off the rails really quickly. So much happening on day 5 as it gave us more seeded carnage, a world number one, a current world number one knocked out this time around, a home hope knocked out as well. A couple of young names making some serious noise, and the men's draw continued to chew through seeds at a ridiculous rate. We're now deep enough into the tournament where every match feels like it has some certain stakes about it. Big names are trying to settle into a run. The rising names are trying to announce themselves, and the clay is doing what clay does best, exposing anyone that is not absolutely switched on. As always, if you love your tennis content, make sure to like the video, hit subscribe on the channel. And now let's kick off today's Tennis Daily and start it with Aussie Watch. And the Aussie flag is still flying in Rome. Alexei Popyrin getting it done. He had to work for it. He beat 26 seed and Czech young gun Jakub Mensik in an up-and-down three-setter, 6-3, 2-6, 6-4. Comfortably one of the best wins of what's been a tough season for Popyrin. He has had a very slow start to 2026. Ranking has been sliding well down to further into the top 100 after hitting the top 20 last year. But in Rome, he suddenly found something. First, he knocked out home favourite and veteran Matteo Berrettini. Now he takes down young guard Mensik. And this one, it was deep into the night. Popyrin didn't get on court until 11 p.m. and the match finished after 1 a.m. at the Foro Italico. That's proper tennis after dark. He played a brilliant first set. Mensik then needed some treatment after rolling his right ankle, but once he got strapped up, the Czech found a lift. He took the second set, and all of a sudden the crowd were behind him, and Popyrin was in a dogfight. This is the part you love. Poppy knuckled down in the third, saved early pressure, stayed in the fight, and 5-4 he produced the decisive break to close it out. His 21st winner helped set up match point, and he punched the air after locking away his biggest win by ranking since beating Holger Rune back at last year's Canadian Masters. And now the reward is a brutal one. Next up for him, Jannik Sinner, the world number one in Rome, in front of his home crowd. Popyrin does have one little nugget of belief. He beat Sinner on clay in Madrid 5 years ago, but Sinner disposed of him easily earlier this year in Doha. So it's a distant memory, but he's going to have to rely on it. And when you're walking into the lines, then you take whatever weapon you can carry. Popyrin's kept the Aussie flag flying. The reward, Jannik Sinner, is questionable as to whether it's a reward in Rome, but it's less a third-round draw and more a meeting with the final boss in his own castle. Let's flip to the rest of Day 5's recap, starting with Mira Andreeva. She got through a roller coaster against Victoria Golubic, 6-1, 4-6, 6-love. Another Andreeva wobble that we've seen before. Not her best, but she lost control of the match before, reset, and absolutely blitzed that decider, which is positive. Coco Gauff, the third seed, also had to fight. She came from behind to knock out Argentinian rising star Solana Sierra, 5-7, 6-love, 6-4. Sierra got the first punch, but Coco responded with a second set bagel, then had to hold her nerve in the third. Not perfect from Coco, but good players find a way through ugly matches, and that she did. Anna Kalinskaya, the 22nd seed, knocked out Belinda Bencic, the 12th seed, in straight sets, 6-4, 6-3. A very tidy result. Kalinskaya kept it controlled and got it done in straights. Elisa Mertens, this was a big one. Knocked out home hope Jasmine Paolini and continued Paolini's pain on clay so far this year, beating her 4-6, 7-6, 6-3. Second set tiebreak was the match pulse. Paolini had the crowd. She had the first set, took it to the tiebreak, but Mertens did what she does. She hung around, she made it uncomfortable and refused to give away free points. Once she claimed that second set, the whole feeling of the match changed. But the biggest upset on the women's side came from 36-year-old Romanian Sorana Cistea, the 26th seed, stunned world number one, Aryna Sabalenka, in 3 sets, coming back from a set and a breakdown to win 2-6, 6-3, 7-5. It is massive. First ever win for the Romanian over a world number one, and she had to do it the hard way. She found a way back against Sabalenka, which is so rare. This is proper veteran steel. Sabalenka did cite some movement limitations and lower back issues afterwards, and that matters. But take nothing away from Cistea. To come back from that position against the world number one is a huge result. That is absolutely phenomenal from Cistea, climbing out of a set and break hole, stared down the biggest hitter in the draw, and stole the spotlight. On the men's side, the seed exodus continued. Qualifier Nicolas Basilashvili claimed a massive scalp, beating 5th seed Ben Shelton in 3 sets. A big result. Basilashvili always has that ball striking ceiling where if he catches fire, he can hit through almost anyone. Young Brazilian and clay court specialist, 27th seed João Fonseca, bowed out as well. Serbia's Hemad Medjedovic taking the scalp. Fonseca's one of the names everyone's been watching, but Rome quickly reminds you that talent alone does not get you a free passage on clay. Unfortunately for 15th seed Artifice, he withdrew early in his match against Italian qualifier Andrea Pellegrino. Again, appeared to be a back issue. Always a concern this close to Roland Garros, considering his injury history. Body management, very key as you lead into the Grand Slam action. Mariano Navani from Argentina claimed a tight win over 4th seed Felix Auger-Aliassime to keep the trend happening. 7-6, 7-6, 2 tie breaks. No margin, but Navone gets it done. Just pressure, and better execution at the end of both sets. Other seeds to bow out. Corentin Moutet and Thomas Echeverry also eliminated. Moutet went down to qualifier Pablo Lamas Ruiz from Spain. Echeverry lost in 3 to Italy's Mattia Bellucci. And Thiago Tarante, well, he got a straight sets win over 17th seed Cameron Norrie, which means we're already down 13 men's seeds now after their first matches. That's not a ripple. This is a draw getting shredded. Over a third of the seeds gone. A lot of action. The men's seeds aren't just falling one by one. They're leaving Rome like someone's pulled a fire alarm. Certainly interesting to see if any more will fall as we head into day 6. Speaking of day 6, our matches to watch, and we've got quite a host of big matches to dig into. Let's start with Matteo Arnaldi up against Rafael Jodar. Arnaldi, the wild card, takes on Jodar, the 32nd seed. A fascinating matchup. Arnaldi's already done damage in Rome. He knocked out Alex de Minaur from a set down. He's come in fresh with the momentum of that challenger title in Cagliari. Backed it up with an arm wrestle against Jean Mounard, Jodar's countryman. So he's not just surviving on crowd energy, he's in form. But Jodar, well, he's got the seed next to his name for a reason. He's confident, he's dangerous, he's on the rise. And this is a chance for him to prove that the seeding belongs for him at this level. The key question is, can Arnaldi keep riding the Rome wave? Or does Jodar quiet the crowd and make this a rankings reality check? Jodar's got the seed, the confidence, and has a real chance to turn Rome silent. Arnaldi will lean heavily into that crowd and the clay rhythm. I think Jodar takes this one in 3 sets. This is another game where we'll look back and say this may have been just the making of this young man. Next up, it's the battle of the Alexes. Zverev versus Blockx. Zverev, a clear favourite, but Blockx has been absolutely killing it in draws in recent weeks. He's been on a proper breakthrough run. He's already knocked out Talon Griekspoor here, but this is a level above. Zverev has a big serve, a heavy backhand, and the clay pedigree and the experience. But Blockx has belief, and belief is a dangerous thing in a Masters draw that is already full of upsets. Zverev's job is to be boring in the best possible way, serve big, lock down his backhand. Don't let Blockx feel like this is another headline waiting for him to capitalise. Zverev's supposed to be the wall, but Blockx has spent the last week finding doors where there shouldn't be any. If anyone can do this in the moment, it is Alexander Blockx, but I think Zverev's going to be too strong here, and we'll take this one in straight sets. Well, the next one's huge because of what's just happened. Ugo Humbert, the 31st seed, takes on qualifier Dino Prizmic. Prizmic is the man who knocked out Novak Djokovic, and not just any Djokovic, a 6-time Rome champion in his first match in Rome this time around on centre court, and he came back from a set down to win. So now, can he back it up against the dangerous lefty, the flat ball, quick offense, Ugo Humbert? Not always the clayest clay quarter, to be fair, but he can take rackets out of hands when he's timing it. Prizmic, though, he'll bring legs, belief, and that fearless qualifier energy. He's been on runs in a couple of tournaments now. The danger, though, is the emotional come down. You beat Djokovic, everyone talks about you, then you have to come back and play another professional tennis match with all that expectation. Beating Djokovic gives you a headline. Beating Humbert in the next round tells you whether Prizmic is having a moment or building a run. And I think he will. I've got Dino Prizmic taking this one in 3 sets. And the last of our men's matches to preview, Leonard Tien up against Alexander Bublik. This is a very fun contrast. The 19th seed takes on the 9th seed. Bublik, the chaos merchant, big serve, drop shots, trickery, sudden winners, sudden nonsense, sudden meltdowns too. He can look unplayable and unserious within the same game, let alone the same set or match. Tien, the cleaner, much more straight-cut story. He's young, he's seeded, he's building quickly. He's got very disciplined patterns and he'll stick to the structure. The question is whether Tien can stay calm when Bublik starts changing the temperature of the match. Because Bublik will not just test your tennis. He'll test your patience. He'll test your mentality. He'll test your stamina and your steel. Tien will bring the structure. Bublik will bring the circus. And the match may depend on whether Lerner can keep doing maths while Alexander starts juggling knives. I think Tien actually wins this one. I've got him winning it in straight sets. Next up, Naomi Osaka versus Diana Shnaider in the women's side. This is one of the best women's matches of the day, undoubtedly. The 15th seed up against the 19th seed in Shnaider. Osaka brings the name, the serve, the power. Shnaider will bring that left-handed shape, the heavy ball, confidence and some serious clay court bite. Osaka's challenge is going to be her movement and repeatability. Can she hit through the clay often enough? Can she defend enough when Shnaider stretches the court? Can she keep the unforced errors from stacking up? That's always a question for Naomi. Shnaider just came up through against Talia Gibson after dropping the first set and completely running away in the second and third. That shows she can adjust and adapt. It also shows that once she finds rhythm, she can accelerate quickly. In this one, we know Osaka brings the star power. Shnaider brings the clay court teeth. And if Naomi can't land the first punch often enough, Shnaider can make this very uncomfortable. I've got Diana Shnaider taking this one in 3. Next up, we go to Elena Svitolina, the 7th seed, up against the 32nd seed in Hailey Baptiste. Baptiste deserves some respect here. She's got power, she's got athleticism, and she can rush opponents when she's timing the ball. We saw her play well in Madrid. But Svitolina is one of the better problem solvers in the women's game. She defends, she competes, and she extends points when you don't want them. She forces opponents to keep proving they can finish and play one more shot. The danger for Baptiste, getting dragged into one too many rallies. The danger of Svitolina, letting Baptiste get clean strikes early. Baptiste got the power to ask questions, but Svitolina, well, she's got the answers and the patience to turn this into a very long test. I think Elena Svitolina takes this in 3 and gets home against the 32nd seed. Next up, we go Iga Swiatek, the 4th seed, up against Elisabetta Cocciaretto. This is the home crowd special. The clay court specialist is Swiatek, who hasn't quite been at her best over the last 12 months, up against Cocciaretto. This is Rome. Cocciaretto's already knocked out Emma Navarro in straight sets. She'll have the crowd, she'll have the noise, and she'll have that home player lift. Swiatek, though, she had to work hard to get past Katie McNally. So if there is a tiny opening, Cocciaretto can start fast and make the stadium believe. But against Iga on clay, belief is only one small step in a very long journey. You need execution, you need patience, and you need to survive the forehand pressure. I think Cocciaretto will be right in this fight early, but if Swiatek can get on top in the first, it'll be a straight set. If Cocciaretto gets out blasting, then Swiatek will fight back and take it in 3. Last but not least, Elena Rybakina up against Alexandra Eala. This is a brilliant test for young Eala. She takes on the 2nd seed, and Rybakina a strong favourite, understandably. She's got that bomb of a serve, the clean strike, and the calm composure. The ability to take time away without looking like she's even trying. But Eala's been one of the good stories of this tournament so far. Knocked out Magdalena Freck in 3. Then she backed it up with a straight sets win over Wang Xinyu. That's a strong little run. Lefty angles, fearless hitting, rising belief. She's a player who plays on momentum and confidence. The question is whether she can actually get into Rybakina's service games and make this a contest. Because if Rybakina serves well, she can make every set feel like a scoreboard mountain. Eala's certainly been the spark so far. Rybakina, though, is the system. And this is where the rising lefty can find out how much damage she can do against one of the cleanest hitters in the sport. I think for this one, it's not necessarily about the result for Eala's camp. It's very much about what the takeaways are. I'm sure they'd love to get the upset here, but I've got Rybakina winning this one in straight sets. But if Eala can make it tight, it'll show further progression in her game. So that's day 6 in Rome. The women's draw has lost the world number 1. The men's draw is already down 13 seeds in their first matches in round 2. Plenty of shocks, plenty of surprises. Sestaya knocking out the number 1. Prizmic gave us the Djokovic earthquake yesterday. So much happening. As always, if you love your tennis, make sure to hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, and get involved in the comments. Let us know who you think can make a run here and take out the tournament. But as always, Rome, well, it's officially chaotic here on the clay. The road to Roland Garros is getting louder and clearer. But until next time, a huge thank you to you for tuning in, and we'll see you again on our next Tennis Daily.